As soon as I read the script, I just felt like this was right on target.
Percy Bysshe Shelley, a radical poet, age 20, runs away with his wife Harriet to work under his idol, William Godwin. And it's there that he meets Mary Godwin. So I first came into contact with Percy Shelley when I was in graduate school, and I did a production at Cleveland Playhouse, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I was doing research for the character. I started to read his poetry, read his essays, his treatises. I found a book of all of his letters. I was reading through every letter and just getting such a sense of his voice. He had all of these crazy radical takes, especially for the time.
My first exposure to this was actually not the script, but the one-man show that Gavin wrote and performed.
Yours truly, Percy Bysshe Shelley.
So thematically, it kind of deals with the force of love and how much should love guide our actions, and what are the other values that might be more important or get lost in pursuing something as intense as love. I think also in that same vein, it's also about what does it mean to really love someone versus to love the idea of someone. And sort of as part of the convention of the theatrical piece, I wanted to have something to play opposite. And so I decided to use mannequins.
You are familiar, yes? No? No. Right. Then that's all right.
But when he said that the mannequins were part of the entire experience, even for film, that really got my mind going, and I thought, wow.
I thought it so perfectly captured the ego of Percy Shelley, that all of the people he's talking to and talking about and making decisions for are mannequins to him. He's brilliant and intellectual, and he makes incredibly stupid decisions. I want audiences to one moment be like, oh my gosh, what beautiful poetry, what a beautiful mind he has, and the next moment to go, no, oh, don't do it, you know, like, those crazy flip of emotion. That's what he does for me, and that's what I want other people to feel. Chris and I worked on the film Diabolos together several years ago.
And he was barely out of his teens at the time, but still exhibited a tremendous amount of skill and talent, as well as focus and discipline.
You know, knowing who, what, when, and where to prioritize things is an incredibly important skill, and it's one that I think Chris has. When I was writing the script, I knew we wouldn't be able to afford to recreate Regency London, so choosing locations that were maybe more timeless, locations like a forest and a cemetery, and then contrasting those sorts of wilder locations with the one man-made location, which is the Godwin estate. It's really important that the Godwin estate establishes the world, and especially the intimidation that Percy feels when going to work under his idol. The other budget consideration, and always the most important on any film, is transporting, housing, and feeding your cast and crew. And we're trying to keep as small a team as possible of really talented professionals. So we'll have a director, we'll have a cinematographer, we'll have sound, and then we'll have our cast members.
For be it joy or sorrow, the path of its departure still is free. Man's yesterday may ne'er be like his morrow. Naught may endure, but mutability.
The story is self-contained in a short film, but it serves as like the first part of a 3-act screenplay. And so where it kind of wraps up, I think it wraps up the arc nicely, but I also wanted to leave the audience wanting more and have them curious about what happens next.
I think that this film has comedy that actually can really speak volumes about human nature.
It's about love, but maybe not in the way that you're expecting it to be. We hope you believe in this project as much as we do. There'll be a lot more information on the webpage.
Thank you so much for your investment in this film.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
And I can't wait for you all to see it.